A little bit of a chill in the air as the Yankees begin this four-game set against the Los Angeles Angels. Let's take a look at the Angels starting lineup that A.J. Burnett's going to face. It is presented by our good friends at BMW. Sean Figgins, the third baseman, is going to lead off. Good numbers lifetime against the Yankees. Meiser Restoris, the DH, will bat second. Batting third, playing right field, former Yankee Bobby Abreu is off to a great start. Torrey Hunter, 8 home runs. He'll be the center fielder, and he'll bat cleanup. Batting fifth and playing first base, Kendry Morales. Mike Napoli will catch. He's going to bat sixth. Batting seventh and playing second base, Howie Kendrick. Juan Rivera, former Yankee, will be in left field. He'll hit eighth. And Eric Ibar is the shortstop. He'll bat ninth.
That Angel lineup is going to go to work against A.J. Burnett. It's going to be his fifth start of the year. The record 2-0. The ERA high, 5.47. 12 walks, 21 hits, and 20 strikeouts. Our pitcher's scouting report brought to you by Jeep. It's been a long 4 days for Burnett. Had a 6-0 lead at Fenway Park. Wasn't able to close the deal. He's looking to redeem himself tonight and attack that leadoff hitter. Been 8 innings where he has given up 5 times the leadoff man has gotten on base and he has scored. And Torrey Hunter is only 2 for 17, but he does have 2 home runs against Burnett.
So Sean Figgins is ready. A.J. Burnett looking to bounce back from a subpar outing. He's ready as well. And let's do it here in the Bronx as the big right-hander deals. There's a strike on the outside corner, and we are underway. Want to keep Figgins off the bases. He has 9 stolen bases so far this year. And he's long been a Yankee killer. Worked inside after going outside, and the count levels at 1-1.
It looked like a pretty good fastball on the inside half. It'll be the second time Jorge Posada and A.J. Burnett have worked consecutive games back-to-back.
There's a strike. Bleacher Creatures with their roll call, and Damon with a very dramatic acknowledgement. And A.J. Burnett deals the 1-2. Lined into left center field. That could be trouble. Giving chase on the run is Damon. He dives, can't make the play. It gets past him and goes to the wall. Melky Cabrera fields out there, but Sean Figgins running hard is in there with a leadoff triple.
A lot of talk about pitch selection from A.J. Burnett. His last start against the Boston Red Sox, he felt like he had good stuff, but didn't make the right pitches at the right time. It's a 1-2 fastball. It just catches too much of the plate. A nice bid by Johnny Damon, but it's going to go all the way to the wall. Johnny makes a nice attempt, just can't come up with it, but much too much of the plate on a 1-2 count. You thought maybe a curveball might be coming or a slider. Decided to go with 4 fastballs in a row.
Here's Meiser Restoris. Infielders back at shortstop and second. They're in at the corners. And there's a ground ball short. That's going to get in a run. Jeter fields, fires to Teixeira, scoring is Figgins. And the Angels are on the board, 1-0. Let's take a look at the Yankees defensive schematic brought to you by our good friends at Home Depot. We already seen some of the outfielders. You got Damon in left and Melky in center. Over and right, Nick Swisher. In the infield, Pena, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira third to first. Teixeira actually played with the Angels in 54 games last year. Posada is behind the plate. Burnett is on the mound. Here's Bobby Abreu, just received a warm hand from the stadium crowd. 4-game streak for Abreu, 6 for his last 17. And there's a strike. He's hitting .363, and he's 8 for 8 in stolen bases.
Bobby Abreu got a nice round of applause from the home crowd here at Yankee Stadium, and he should. I mean, he had a nice couple of years here, a very productive player, played every day.
One of those players that definitely got caught up in the economic vortex. He was a free agent, made $16 million last year with the Yankees, and that money wasn't out there this time, and he accepted a 1-year, $5 million deal for the Angels. Could be one of the better signings by a team this year. The 1-1. There's a strike. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. And Burnett deals the 1-2. Breaking ball low, 2-2.
A.J. Burnett looks like he has pretty good stuff. I mean, our gun reading a little bit low, but it looks like a good fastball in the middle 90s. Nice sharp breaking ball there to Bobby Abreu that he did not offer at.
And the 2-2 to Abreu. Punched out toward left field. It's a base hit. So he has a 5-game hitting streak. Damon comes up throwing quickly. So Abreu is on with a 1-out single. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 56 degrees, 66% humidity, and the wind is 16 miles per hour. There is a forecast of a chance of late showers.
Nothing new for Bobby Abreu, a guy who does not afraid to go deep into the count, gets 2 strikes on him and just gets a fastball, blocks it off the other way. Yankee fans used to seeing that the last couple of years, productive at bats.
There's Torrey Hunter with 8 home runs this year. Abreu's going and he steals base. Steals second base. He's 9 for 9 this season. Posada couldn't handle the pitch, so there was no throw.
Bobby Abreu 9 for 9. Got a decent jump. Jorge Posada had a tough pitch to throw on. Did not come up with a good grip, so he decided not to make an errant throw. Was actually going to throw from his knees there.
Punched out deep to right field. Swisher's there on the warning track. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Abreu. He'll head to third. So Torrey Hunter flirts with the short part of the ballpark, but makes the second out of the inning.
A lot of talk how the ball has been carrying to right field. Torrey Hunter already with 8 home runs. And once it gets up there, you have to question if it's going to keep going, but you can see Nick Swisher comes in. Looks like that ball died a little bit once it got to the warning track. Bobby Abreu hustles over to third base.
Here's Kendry Morales. Kendry is the man who replaced Mark Teixeira when the Angels lost him to free agency. And there's a strike. The Angels wanted Teixeira, but they did not get into a bidding war with the Yankees and the Red Sox. They made their offer, and they kept it pretty much right there. And it seemed like Teixeira definitely wanted to be on the East Coast, but he enjoyed his time and had really good numbers while with the Angels. The 0-1. 1-1. Let's take a look at the umpires in today's game. You got Doug Eddings behind the plate. Hunter Wendelstedt is the first base ump. Dana DeMuth at second. And Todd Tichenor is the third base umpire. Runner at third, 2 outs. Angels have 1 run on the board. Burnett deals the 1-1. Off-speed pitch outside, 2-1.
Morales, a guy who was hitting the minor leagues, so he gets an opportunity, like you said, not signing Mark Teixeira back. Has some powers from Cuba, actually hit cleanup for the Cuban national team at 19 years old, so he has a proven track record being a quality hitter.
The 2-1. Foul back. This is the beginning of an 8-game homestand for the Yankees. 4 against the Angels. 2 against the Red Sox Monday and Tuesday. And then 2 against Tampa Bay on Wednesday and Thursday before the Yankees head to Baltimore. Crowd looking for the strikeout from Burnett. And the 2-2. Rounded right back to Burnett. He knocks it down, finds it, and gets Morales for the final out of the first. But some trouble for Burnett. The leadoff triple by Figgins comes back to hurt him. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. It's the Angels 1 and the New York Yankees coming to bat. presented by BMW. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off batting. Second, playing left field, the red-hot Johnny Damon. Mark Teixeira hitting under 200 for the month. He's at first base, batting third. 9-game hitting streak for Hideki Matsui. That's why he's batting cleanup. He's the DH. Robinson Cano, he does it even better. 16-game hitting streak. Second baseman bats fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Nick Swisher, 2 home runs yesterday. 1 from each side of the plate. They'll be in right field, batting seventh. Batting eighth, red-hot center fielder Melky Cabrera. And Ramiro Pena, the third baseman, will bat ninth.
The Yankee lineup is going to go to work against Anthony Ortega. It'll be his second major league start. First one, he went 5 innings. The first 2 did not go well, and then he finished up strong the last 3. We'll take a look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report. He was the 2008 Angels minor league pitcher of the year, and he had some control issues in the minor leagues, walked a few too many guys, but opportunity knocks with Lackey on the DL, Santana on the DL, Escobar on the DL. Ortega gets a shot at the big league rotation.
So Derek Jeter will dig in. Yankees are trailing 1-0. The triple by Sean Figgins and a ground out by Asturias scored the run. And there's a strike. Ortega actually came to spring training this year with the Angels with a tired arm, just from pitching in winter ball. Last year in the minor leagues, shuttling between AA and AAA, he was 14-7, 3.46. Jeter tries to pull an outside pitch and grounds it foul. And he's 32-36 lifetime in the Angels minor leagues. Let's take a look at the Angels defense, brought to you by Home Depot. In the outfield, pretty good defensive alignment. You've got Rivera, Hunter, and Abreu. Hunter has 8 consecutive Gold Gloves. Infield, Figgins, Ibar, Kendrick, and Morales. That's third to first. Napoli behind the plate, and Ortega is on the mound. Derek hitless in his last 7 at-bats and the 0-2. Low and away, 1-2. You know, you mentioned all the injuries, John, to the pitching staff, and the Angels wouldn't admit it. Mike Scioscia wouldn't admit it. But you have to assume that they're trying to tread water until those guys get back. They've lost big-time members of their starting rotation. John Lackey is their ace, and he's out.
Santana's out. Escobar, you know, and it's all good news for the Angels because it sounds like these guys are on their way back, ready to make some rehab starts, but it really hasn't been the rotation that's been the problem for the Angels. It's really been more the bullpen.
Ground ball to second, Kendrick. And there's one away.
You know, the lineup that the Angels throw out there, it's an aggressive lineup. They like to run the bases. They like to steal bases, and that all goes back to this man, Mike Scioscia. An aggressive manager, likes to have players on his team who run the bases, put the pressure on the defense. Torrey Hunter's gotten off to a nice start, so offensively it's been pretty good. Rotation's been all right, but the bullpen got off to a slow start.
Here's Johnny Damon. Count 1-0. Johnny, 4 for his last 17, but he's gotten off to a nice start. There's a strike on the outside corner. Dropped an off-speed pitch out there, and the count 1-1.
If you're going to do a scouting report on Ortega, it would be, you know what, he's got all 4. He's got a little movement. He's not going to be overpowering. Got a little running fastball, low 90s. So, you know, as a hitter, you're not really going to worry about that too much. Doesn't have the big-time velocity. A little cutter, a little slider, a changeup.
Check swing and a breaking ball low and inside. Count 2-1. You wonder when a team has all the injuries that the Angels have had. I mean, they're also without Vladimir Guerrero, which is a pretty significant loss. And you start to feel sorry for yourself and you have excuses. And Mike Scioscia said to me, he goes, you know what? There's nobody feeling sorry for us. That one's popped up to left field. Juan Rivera's there, 2-way. He said, so we can't feel sorry for ourselves. He said, the guys that are out there are major league ball players. They get paid and they have to do their job. He said, we can't worry about what's not here. We have to deal with what's here. And that's what a lot of managers say, but he's really preaching that to his team.
You know, the one thing about Mike Scioscia, he creates such a positive attitude in that clubhouse. His ball club brings that positive attitude out on the field, and a lot of opportunities for some young pitchers. And like I said, those big 3 guys, Lackey, Santana, and Escobar, coming back. Once they come back and they're healthy, then you're going to have some depth in your pitching staff. Some of these guys probably move to the bullpen. Make that a little bit stronger.
Foul back. Teixeira is 1 for his last 16. And he is under 200. His last at bat as an Angel here at the old stadium across the street, he had a grand slam. That was on August 3rd of 08. Didn't even realize he'd done it till his father called him after the game and said, you know, you realize you hit a grand slam the last time you'll ever hit at Yankee Stadium? And he said then it became significant to him. Well, the Angels will know Teixeira very well. They have the shift on. They have one infielder on the left side. That's Sean Figgins, the third baseman. And the other three are on the right side. So they expect him to pull dead red. The 2-2. 3-2. And Teixeira met some of his old teammates before the game. He was well liked with the Angels. Torrey Hunter really tried to keep him there. And they wanted him there, but it seemed like he wanted to go to the East Coast. That one skied out to deep left center field. Giving chase is Hunter. On the run! Can't make the play. Then he kicks the ball. Teixeira is at second. He'll stop right there. So a deep drive in the left center field, and his buddy, Torrey Hunter, almost took away an extra base hit.
Well, Torrey Hunter was shading Mark Teixeira to right center, but Mark hits this ball well, and it looks like the ball's carrying well to left center tonight. And you expect Torrey Hunter, if he gets a glove on it, you expect him to make the play. 8 consecutive gold gloves. It's right off the tip of the glove. Ran a long way for that ball, but it definitely looks like the ball carrying better to left center than right field tonight so far early in the ball game.
Right off the end of the glove. Here's Matsui. 9-game hitting streak. See, the wind is blowing from right to left. Matsui lines a single to center field. Let's see if Teixeira can score. They're waving him home. Here's the throw from Hunter. Not in time. And Matsui goes in behind the throw. An RBI single for Matsui. A 10-game hitting streak for Matsui. And a 1-1 game at the stadium.
Gotta like the 2-out hitting. Mark Teixeira hits a double. Hideki Matsui doesn't waste any time. First pitch swinging, and a pretty decent pitch. Down and away, a little sinking fastball. But unlike the beginning of the year for Hideki Matsui, stays on it, drives it right back up the middle. Rob Thompson, the third base coach, not wasting any time, waving Mark Teixeira home, and the Yankees even it up here in the first.
Pretty aggressive third base coaching by Thompson. Never hesitated, waved home Teixeira. As we mentioned, 8-time Gold Glove winner Torrey Hunter, but the throw was a little bit of a lollipop and didn't have much of a chance to get Teixeira. Here's Robinson Cano. He brings a 16-game hitting streak into this game. Fouled off in front of the plate.
First pitch swinging, drives it right back up the middle. You see Hideki Matsui looks like he's running a little bit better on those knees. Nice job of base running just to get to second base with 2 outs. Another runner in scoring position for Robinson Cano.
Off-speed pitch. Cano way out in front. Cano has hit safely in 20 of 21 games. And we mentioned the 16-game hitting streak. Now he has 33 hits this year. He didn't pick up his 33rd hit until May 21st of last year, his 45th game. So he's done it in half the time. Yankees have played 21 games. Less than half the time. Got off to an awful start last year, but finished strong, had a great spring training, and carried it into April. The 0-2, 1-2. I wonder how much it motivates a player to have people question his work ethic, question whether or not he was good enough, question whether or not the Yankees wasted the money giving him that contract, and see what he's done during a 16-game streak.
Well, you hope it motivates a player. I mean, the last thing you want to see is a young player get a multi-year contract and then kind of go through the motions. Robinson Cano has answered the call in spring training. He's gotten off to a nice start in April. A lot of talk about Robinson making an adjustment in his stance where he closed off his lower body. And he looks like he's open a little bit more than he had been early on. And I talked to Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, about that. And he said, you know what, Robinson now can go back a little bit to what he did last year, where he was a little bit open, strides towards the pitcher.
Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch on the outside part of the plate. That'll do it. But the Yankees tied the score. How do they do it? Mark Teixeira laces a double just off the glove of a lunging Torrey Hunter. And then he scores on a single by Hideki Matsui at the end of one. Will try to get some payback for getting swept in Boston over the past weekend.
That's a tough stretch right there. I mean, the Angels, who have always played the Yankees tough, for 4 games, and then you have the Red Sox coming in for 2. Tampa Bay Rays will come in after that.
Napoli hits one deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Solo home run from Mike Napoli, and the Angels lead 2-1. Well, that's 27 home runs hit in the first 7 games here at Yankee Stadium, tying the record previously set at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. And that one jumped out to right.
Well, Mike Napoli, known as an offensive catcher, a first pitch fastball. He's a strong guy. That'll be his 4th home run of the year. He gets it up in the air. He can hit it a long way. Swisher knew that that one was gone in right field.
Foul back by Howie Kendrick.
They're going to make a little adjustment here. A.J. Burnett and Jorge Posada. A lot of first pitch fastballs. We're starting to see a lot of aggressive swings.
And you see the direction of the home runs that we spoke about. 14 by the Yankees, 13 by their opponents, 18 to right, 2 to center, and 7 to left. 27 total.
So he gets up on his back leg and lets the ball travel. And nice extension.
How about this stat, John? I mean, Mike Napoli, okay, you don't really know that much about him. He has the best home run to at-bat ratio all time amongst Major League Baseball catchers. He hits a home run once every 15.2 at-bats, and that's with a minimum of 40 home runs. So he now has 50 home runs in 757 at-bats.
He had 20 home runs last year, and like I said, he's known as an offensive catcher. Has a lot of pop, does a nice job handling his staff, does not throw well, actually had his shoulder cleaned out after last year. A.J. Burnett does not look sharp so far. Location with his fastball, looks like he's got good velocity. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some more breaking balls to kind of slow his mechanics down, get him back on track.
There's a good fastball strike, 3-2. 95 miles an hour on that fastball. There's Napoli. And A.J. deals the 3-2. Missed outside. And a walk to Kendrick. Now you wonder, and Joe Girardi doesn't want to get caught up in this at all, is there a difference when Burnett pitches to Molina and when he pitches to Posada? In 3 starts with Molina, opponents hit 194 against him. And with Posada behind the plate, which was only that one game in Boston, now this one, they hit 381 against him. And I guess a manager has to look to see if it becomes a trend, but hey, they need Jorge Posada's bat in the lineup, so they're not going to play games and have personal catchers.
You know what the bottom line is, Michael? A.J. Burnett is a #1 type guy. I mean, it shouldn't matter who's behind the plate with the type of stuff he has. You know what is working for you on a day-to-day basis. You go out there and pitch your game. And Jorge Posada, you mentioned it, second game in a row. Obviously, you got to develop a little bit of a rhythm between the pitcher and the catcher, but if you have the type of stuff that A.J. Burnett has, it shouldn't be a question who's behind the plate.
Let's see if he goes. There's a breaking ball strike.
I like that a lot, Michael. I'm sorry about that, but a lot of first pitch breaking balls. The Angels have been very aggressive first pitch swinging on the fastball. AJ's location has not been great with the fastball. Call some more off-speed pitches to slow him down early in the ballgame.
Runner goes. And again, Posada drops the ball without making a throw, so a stolen base for Howie Kendrick.
It's going to be the second stolen base of the year. Fastball low, and you can see Jorge just rushes a little bit coming out and never catches this ball to have a nice transfer. And the Angels are going to be an aggressive ball club. They like to steal bases. Second in the league in stolen bases at this point, so you know they're going to run.
And a slow roller back to the mound, barehanded by Burnett, and he gets Rivera for the first out as Howie Kendrick moves to third. Well, now let's see what the Yankees do defensively. It looks as if they're going to bring the infield in to try to cut off the run. And here's Eric Ibar, who's hitless in his last 9 at-bats. Yankees trailing 2-1. We're in the top of the second inning. Burnett works from the extreme first base side of the rubber and deals. Upstairs, 1-0.
Well, with Mike Scioscia managing any ball club, you would never be surprised by a suicide squeeze or possibly safety squeeze. I'm sure that has to be in the thought of the Yankees infielders, Jorge Posada especially. Light hitting shortstop, batting ninth, runner on third base.
Popped up and out of play. You know, for the rest of the year, John, the Yankees are going to be very, very keenly aware of what's happening at third base because of what happened in Boston with Jacoby Ellsbury's steal against Andy Pettitte. So Burnett can elect to go from the windup. He's electing to go from the stretch. Grounded foul. So now 2 strikes, and that would seem to take away the bunt. Ibar's an outstanding bunter, though he had 9 sack bunts last year.
AJ going out of the stretch. We'll see how he tries to finish off Ibar here. Threw a nice slider there. Might want to finish him off with a fastball inside.
He's got a piece.
#1 type pitcher has the ability, obviously, to strike people out, looking for a strikeout here, and he goes with the slider. It just kind of spins middle of the plate. Actually got away with a hanger. There's 2 sliders in a row. Ibar, an aggressive hitter. You have a possibility of climbing the ladder, see if he'll chase one out of the zone or bounce another slider.
Just missed outside.
Three in a row. He took a shot at the back door and just missed. Home plate umpire Doug Eddings does not give the call.
Two. And the count full at 3-2. You don't want to put Ibar at first because then he'll steal second. And you've got Sean Pickens on deck. Putting together a good at bat.
Again, Jorge Posada is going to go out and have a conversation with A.J. Burnett. They have it wide open inside if they want to try to freeze him with a fastball. He's thrown a couple of running fastballs that came back and missed. Looks like Ibar wants that pitch out over the plate, trying to stay up the middle the other way. That's where you'd want to go right here. Start it on the inside half and bring it to that corner. It looked like you would have a nice opportunity to freeze him on a 3-2 count.
And the 3-2. Shattered bat, driven down the right field line. Giving chase is Swisher, and he makes a great play. Tagging and scoring is Kendrick, but it could have been worse if Swisher did not run that ball down in the corner. It's 3-1 Angels.
Well, they tried to go inside, and Ibar got there. Bat cracked, and the ball still carried well to right field. Nick Swisher's been swinging a hot bat, but he makes a nice play. Reaching, crashing into the wall. It'll be a sacrifice fly. A nice play by Nick Swisher, covering a lot of ground.
So it's 3-1 Angels. Here's Sean Piggins. Shows bunt, takes a strike. And the 0-1. There's a strike. 0-2. And the pitch from Burnett. Check swing. Did he go? No. And the count 1-2. 3-3-0 for the Angels. 1-2-0 for the Yankees. We're in the top of the second inning. 38 pitches for Burnett. 23 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him on a breaking ball, so they finally retire Sean Piggins. But the Angels get 2 runs on 1 hit. The 1 hit, a leadoff home run on the first pitch of the inning by Mike Napoli. That's his 4th home run of the year at the end of the inning. Sponsored by Mercedes. 1939 on this day, Lou Gehrig played in the final game of his 2,130 game streak as the Iron Horse took himself out of the game. Your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers on the web at searchmercedes.com. Jorge Posada tries to pull an outside pitch, shatters his bat, and grounds to Kendrick. 1 pitch, 1 out. Swisher gets a nice hand here at the stadium. Home runs from each side of the plate yesterday. 7 homers and 19 runs batted in. The 7 home runs significant because Swisher didn't hit his 7th home run last year until June 19th. There's a strike.
The one thing, obviously, Nick Swisher has gotten off to a great start, but what's impressed me, when I first saw him in spring training, he had some drift in his stance. He would kind of fall forward towards a pitcher. Now it looks like everything's solid. He's really staying back. He's seeing the ball. I was really impressed last night. You take a changeup from a right-hander hitting lefty and drive it the other way. The only way you can do that is to let a ball travel to your back leg. 7 home runs, impressive home run the other way last night.
Grounded slowly to second, and Kendrick, 2 assists, 2 outs.
Anthony Ortega off to a nice start, mixing all his pitches. A curveball to get Swisher, looked like a pretty good pitch. Seen a nice 2-seamer, a couple of changeups.
There's Melky Cabrera, 4-game hitting streak, 7 for his last 22, and he has seemingly wrested the center field job away from Brett Gardner. And Joe Girardi said, production. You produce, you're going to be in there. This is not a job for the year. You've got to continue to do what you have to do like that, as Melky extends his hitting streak to 5 straight. He makes a big turn, but a strong throw in by Torrey Hunter and a 2-out single by Melky.
You see Brett Gardner on the bench, and that's because Melky Cabrera has gotten an opportunity, and he's taken advantage of it. A nice hanging curveball in the middle of the plate. Stay inside and fight it off the other way. I'll tell you what, it impresses teammates, it impresses a coaching staff when you lose your job and then you get an opportunity, you step up. Melky Cabrera, a very motivated player, and Brett Gardner being a good teammate cheering for Melky.
Here's Ramiro Pena, playing third base, batting 9th. And the pitch low, 1-0. Cody Ransom got hurt in Boston, and he is likely out for 2 months.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that, Michael. I mean, we were working that game. It didn't look like a severe injury, but obviously, what was it, a grade 2 tear, something like that? I read in the paper and didn't realize he was going to be out that long.
Got put on the 60-day DL. Think of third baseman Alex Rodriguez had another extended spring training outing today in Tampa. 8 plate appearances. He hit a home run. He walked twice. Still not running hard, but that's going to come. And he hasn't yet slid in a game. That's something that still is a concern for him, and he wants to get that out of the way. A lot of people are saying, hey, he could be back by Friday in Baltimore, but the Yankees' target date when the surgery was performed was May 15th, which would be back here at the stadium. But we'll see exactly what they do if he's ahead of schedule, and from all accounts, he's ahead of schedule.
Yeah, it sounds like he's ahead of schedule. I mean, you would hate to rush him back and have him have a little setback. Obviously, he's missed in this lineup. He's missed at third base. We want to make sure when he comes back, he'll be here for the rest of the year.
Popped up behind the plate and out of play. Earlier today in Tampa, Alex Rodriguez in the extended spring training game. He's a DH. He hasn't yet fielded either. And he hit one out, and he ran to second base on the home run, then stopped. That's what extended spring training games are all about. He batted third in every single half innings. That's why he had the 8 plate appearances.
You know, watching him take his swings, that's going to be the true test. When you take a swing and you bust it out of the box, how that hip responds.
Now, just from that trip to Boston, that's got to hearten the Yankees a little bit because Mike Lowell had the surgery and really is scalding the ball. That's the positive. The negative, Lowell looks like there's a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up now. He was never a great runner anyway. Alex Rodriguez, that's part of his strength. We'll see if he gets back to running well.
Yeah, you're right. Mike Lowell, I mean, we noticed it running the bases, but good news also, side to side, the first move for Mike Lowell, not an issue. And you mentioned swinging the bat well. Alex Rodriguez, his speed is a weapon. It's something we'll pay attention to when he gets back. See if Melky takes a chance here, maybe to steal a base with 2 outs. You have Pena batting 9th. Napoli does not throw well. And even if Melky gets thrown out at second base, you have Pena leading off the next inning. Wouldn't be the worst situation in the world.
There he goes. Pitch is high. Throw to second. Not in time. Awkward slide by Melky. Jammed his foot, but he seems like he's okay. A late slide.
Melky was sizing Ortega up that hole at bat, and he got a great jump. It's one of those plays for Napoli, the catcher behind the plate. You almost don't even want to make a throw because you see the runner has such a nice jump. Melky, a late slide, almost jams that left knee.
Wow.
That's the last thing you want to see for a guy who's been swinging the bat as well as he has, but it looks like he's all right.
And now he's in scoring position, a 3-2 count on Pena. It's Melky's second stolen base of the year. And the pitch. Looped into shallow left field. Ibar backing up. He's there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the second. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We've played 2 here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. LA 3, New York 1. People bundled up against somewhat chilly weather. And Meister Historis will take a strike from A.J. Burnett. Modell's scoreboard, 3-1 Angels. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. Breaking ball's working nicely for Burnett.
It is. That was a good one right there. You just like to see Burnett get into some sort of a rhythm. It looks like the first 2 innings have been work. You want to see him get on the same page with Jorge Posada, find that nice rhythm, see if that can carry you late into the ballgame. That's just a proof of it right there. Just 2 guys not on the same page on an 0-2 count.
And the pitch. Count 1-2.
You just want to see that improve. We saw Jabba Chamberlain last night, middle of the ball game, all of a sudden got going. Maybe found something mechanically. All of a sudden the velocity came and it looked like the Jabba of old. That's what you're hoping for A.J. Burnett tonight.
Strike 3 is Tourist down lucky. Take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. Jared Weaver goes for the Angels, 2-1, 2.45 against Andy Pettit, 2-1, 2.96. Batting practice shows at 6, pregame's at 6:30. First pitch right around 7:07. Join us tomorrow on Yes.
Take a look at the last pitch, a strikeout, a little running fastball, looked down in the zone. Nice catch by Jorge Posada. Home plate umpire Doug Eddings rings him up.
And there's a breaking ball as Abreu takes a strike. is Andy. Lost 4-1 on Sunday night to the Red Sox, and the victim of that steal of home, straight steal of home. You don't see that very often in baseball. You know, it's funny, people say, well, it's a lost art. You don't see it in baseball, but then, you know, you talk to scouts and they go, it's a stupid play the way people hit now. Why would you want to risk getting thrown out of home plate? That's why you don't see it, not that it's a lost art.
You're right. It almost has to be a perfect storm. You have to have a third baseman who's not really paying attention, a pitcher going out of the windup who's not paying attention.
And preferably a left-handed pitcher. And here is that play.
See, Ellsbury gets a great jump. I was a little surprised Jorge Posada didn't come up towards home plate to try and cut him off at the pass. See, he stumbled in a little bit. But I've been a catcher behind the plate at the major league level when Rex Hudler, who does some work for the Angels in the booth.
Tapper in front of the plate. Posada guns down a Brady, running well.
Well, I've been a catcher who's had home plate stolen on me at the major league level. It's a surprising play, and you know, everything just has to be the right place at the right time. And there you see Rex doing some work for the Angels, which he's done for a long time, and always in a good mood. And he was in a good mood reminding me that I stole home against you and David Wells when you were in Detroit. I said, nice to see you, Rex. Have a good game.
Former #1 draft pick for the New York Yankees. Pitches upstairs to Torrey Hunter. You wonder, though, can a catcher just step up out front? Because then if the batter swings and hits you, it's catcher's interference, right?
It is, but with the left-handed batter, I thought Jorge had a great chance just to go out into that right-hander's hitter's batter's box and catch the ball and try to cut Ellsbury off. But like I said, it's a surprising play behind the plate. You almost don't expect it. When it does, you're not sure how to react.
Grounded left side. Jeter backhand. Sets the long throw. Got him. So a nice bounce back inning for A.J. Burnett as he retires the Angels in order. 1, 2, 3. Hunter hits one in the hole. Jeter backhands nicely. Has time to. The Bronx at the new house on 161st and River. The Modell's scoreboard as the Angels leading the Yankees 3-1. And we want to remind everybody, Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. Top of the Yankee order against Ortega. And the pitch is high. I wonder, John, now this is the second time they'll see him, if they'll have more success against the guy. You can have all the scouting reports you want. Until you see for yourself how the pitch moves, you really don't know him.
Yeah, and even when you know a pitcher, that first at bat, you're trying to get a feel for what kind of stuff he has that night. I was just thinking the same thing. Second time through the order with a young right-hander. All these Yankees probably have a pretty good feel for velocity, movement, breaking ball. See if they string together some better at-bats.
Jeter, a .334 lifetime hitter against the Angels, grounded out to second in the first. Painting the outside corner, and he catches it. The count 1-2. The Angels so desperate for starting pitching that they promoted Ortega when he was 1-1 with a 9.88 ERA at AAA. 23 hits in 13 2/3 innings. Fought off and fouled off. Hey fans, it's time for the Toyota text poll. Tonight's question is, who's the best player to suit up for both the Yankees and the Angels? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Was it Don Baylor, Bobby Bonds, Reggie Jackson, or Dave Winfield? We'll give you the results a little bit later on in the game.
Michael, you talked about Ortega's numbers, not very good at AAA, but he really opened the eyes of the Angels organization last spring in 2008. Had a really good spring and won 14 games in the minor leagues. Got minor league pitcher of the year.
Grounded to short. High bar right there. One away. And Mike Sosa is very upfront about it. He goes, these guys are not going to get down. He said, because they're not going to be up here this long. He said, we'll get our starters healthy. He says, and they'll be back in the rotation. Because I asked him, I said, are you afraid that you're rushing people up here? And if they get slapped around, that will have long-lasting effect. He said, they're not going to be here long enough. He goes, I think it's great for a young player, even if he's not ready to experience the big leagues. You take that and you use that as motivation.
You know, Mike, and I've been on this part of it, even if you go to the major leagues and you struggle, when you go back to AAA, your chest is pumped up a little bit. You're like, you know what, I've made it to the big leagues.
That one's driven deep to right. There it goes. See ya. Into the second deck. A solo home run. Johnny Damon. It is 3-2 Angels.
Fourth home run for Johnny Damon, and there was no doubt about this one. Threw it in that little happy zone for Johnny Damon, down and in. See Napoli setting up away. It was pretty much middle, down, and in. All you have to do is drop the bat head, kind of sweep the bat through the zone. Plenty of distance for his fourth home run of the year.
And the pitch to Teixeira is up and away, 1-0. And the count 2-0. Let's see if Ortega now shies away from the strike zone. Now that's 28 home runs here in 7 games, and that's a new record for the first 7 games of a ballpark. And let's take a look at the IOTV HD Super Shot and how it got out to be home run number 28.
He said he just dropped the bat head, nice extension. You let go with your top hand. Telling his teammates how he did it.
And there's a strike to Teixeira, and the count now 3-1. And Teixeira works a walk. One thing about Teixeira, he might be struggling offensively, but he's taking his walks.
He is taking his walks. Talking to Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, today about Teixeira, and he said, you know what, you're going to see him start coming around a little bit. That wrist problem has calmed down. He's now able to do a little extra work that he was doing in spring training, working off a tee, making sure he gets his swing right. So he said he predicts good things for Mark Teixeira here in the next couple of days.
Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, well-respected pitching coach, comes out and talks with Ortega. This chiropractic telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Here's Matsui. RBI single in the first inning, extended his hitting streak to 10 straight. Count 1-0. That walk for Teixeira, his 4th walk over his last 3 games, and 17 walks on the year. So that puts him on pace for about 100 walks for the season. Get 100 walks, your on-base percentage is going to be up in the high threes, maybe in the fours if you have a good season batting average-wise. A 1-0. 1-1. Matsui thought that was a little outside.
It looked like Hideki got a break on the first pitch. It was a changeup. It looked like Napoli, the catcher, thought it was a strike. That pitch may be a little bit off the plate away. Even the count of 1-1. But even the way Hideki Matsui taking pitches right now, very solid, has his base underneath him. Looks like he's seeing the ball well.
Grounded to second. Let's see if they can turn two. There's one on the first. Not in time. He is running a lot better as they do not turn the double play.
Well, when this ball was hit, I was saying this is a tailor-made double play. The way Hideki Matsui battling some knee problems, the offseason surgery. Teixeira goes in there hard. A nice turn by Ibar. And Hideki Matsui just beat that out. Good hustle. Swinging the bat well lately. And I'm sure a big reason for that, the knees are feeling good. Has a nice base underneath him. Shows some speed there. Those are the little things, Michael. You make this young pitcher work a little bit. You got Robinson Cano up there who's been a hot hitter. Give him a shot with 2 outs.
There's Robinson Cano. He struck out in the first. Now 1-0. 3-2 Angels lead the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the third, beginning of an 8-game homestand for the Yankees. 4 against LA, 2 against Boston, and then 2 against Tampa Bay. And Ortega steps off.
See, Hideki Matsui hardly has any lead over there. Obviously not thinking about running. Ortega should just concentrate on Robinson Cano with 2 outs here in the third.
Popped up. Napoli will put it away for the final out of the third. But the Yankees inch closer with 1 out in the inning. Johnny Damon stepped to the plate. And he delivered a ball into the second deck in right field. It's his 4th home run of the year, 10th ribby. It's Yankees 3-2, and Kendry Morales leads off against A.J. Burnett. And there's a strike. Burnett has retired the last 6 in a row. 3-3-0 Angels, 2-4-0 for the Yankees.
but watching A.J. Burnett pitch tonight, you know, I've mentioned before, and even in spring training, it looks like he's going through at maybe 80% effort. The delivery is nice and easy. It's fluid, and the ball jumps out of his hand. It's a fine line for a starting pitcher where you want to pitch at a comfortable pace, but you also have to attack hitters. I think Jabba Chamberlain did that last night.
You think, though, that when he reaches back for a little something extra, like late in the game, he wants to strike somebody out, it will look as if he's reaching back?
Oh, I think you're going to see some extra finish at the end. You know, but AJ's a special guy. He can pitch at 80% and still be throwing 95, 96, but when he needs a big pitch later on, he'll have it. I just thought Jabba Chamberlain made that transition last night where he was really attacking people in the middle of that ball game.
Swing and a miss as Morales goes down on strikes.
Starting to see some more breaking balls, the tight slider. When you're looking for a fastball, you throw a slider like that down and in, it's going to be tough to make contact. Nice finish.
Here's Napoli. Homered on the first pitch that he saw in the second inning. Strike.
He saw a first pitch fastball in the outer half that he drove the other way. An interesting pitch selection there. Jorge Posada called an off-speed pitch. A.J. Burnett shook him off and wanted to throw the same pitch that Napoli hit the first time out, probably thinking that he's not going to be looking for it, and he wasn't.
Grounded to short. Jeter. Eight in a row for Burnett. Time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. 20 years ago today, Al Leiter cried. He was traded from the Yankees to the Blue Jays for which player? I honestly know this one, John. You know it?
I have an idea. But every time I say that I know it, I'm always wrong, so I'm not going to throw it out there.
Well, throw it out there in the bottom of the fourth. Remember, he was emptying out his lockers in the stadium parking lot. Looked up at the stadium, tears in his eyes, got his stuff in his car, and that was it for him.
Went on to have a great career.
And got to the yes booth. And now he's back.
No crying in baseball.
It was in the parking lot.
Oh, okay, that's about it.
He will deny to this day that he actually cried, but I was there, and I wrote it in the New York Post.
It's nice of you. That's why you guys are so tight.
And the pitch. Foul back. Now there's been some confusion with the scoreboard. It says 3-0 right now. I don't know if they green lighted him on 3-0, but Kendrick did swing at that one. And it's 3-1 right now. Pitch. Laced into right field. That's a base hit. So that snaps the string of 8 straight. How about Kendrick's production against the Yankees? It's almost, if you consider it, John, it's almost Central Park softball numbers. He has 38 hits and 80 at-bats against the Yankees. That's unbelievable on the big league level.
Well, the guy's a quality hitter. He's hit at every level he's been at in the minor leagues. The Angels just can't keep him healthy. Had some hamstring problems last year, had some problems with some broken bones in his hands. So they feel like if they could keep him healthy for a full year, I mean, they really have something, a second baseman who can hit like that. I think the power is going to be the question with him. Career high was 13 in the minor leagues, and really has never driven the ball at the big league level.
He's good, John, but he's not 475 good. And that's what he's hitting against the Yankees. They've just been unable to solve it. He was leaning there. Quick throw by Burnett.
The Angels always going to be aggressive on the base paths. You can see Kendrick leaning a little bit. Biggest key for Jorge Posada behind the plate is not to try to rush. Don't try to be too quick. Trust that A.J. is going to give you a chance to throw him out and just make an accurate throw.
Boy, he is really pushing the envelope with that lead. That's a big lead right there.
Slow reacting, getting back. Teixeira with the quick tag.
Juan Rivera dunks one to right field. Fair ball. It's trouble. It's a foul ball. Oh, that missed the line by a couple of inches.
Juan Rivera tried to help this one with a little body language. Take a look to see. Just foul. Home plate or first base umpire Hunter Wendelstadt all over it. See Rivera, a little body language, trying to do the lean, keep it fair. Looks like Ryan Rucco's drive when he's trying to keep it in the fairway. A little body action.
You mean our statistician has a time to play golf?
He was bragging about some drives over 300 yards today.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that total?
I'd like to see that.
Added up?
I'd like to see that.
Would that beat you off the tee?
It would. That's why I'd like to see it. I don't think he has it in him.
Runner goes. Breaking ball strike. Throw to second. Goes into center field. And smart play there by Cano. Keeping the tag on Kendrick as if he had caught the ball. But that was not a good throw by Posada. And backing up quickly was Melky. So staying put at second is Kendrick with a stolen base. Third stolen base for the Angels tonight.
Posada gets an off-speed pitch. You got to stay back a little bit more. Maybe rush the throw a little left to right. Nice job by Robinson Cano trying to hold that glove there, making Kendrick think that you have the ball in there so you don't go to third base. And have to watch Georgie just rushing a little bit tonight, it looks like, on the transfer. Maybe rushed that throw, lost it a little left to right. When you have an aggressive team come into the stadium knowing that they're going to run, sometimes you speed things up a little bit.
Count 1-2 on Juan Rivera. Tap back to the mound in the second inning. Well, the Angels creeping up on the Rays for the most stolen bases this season. Yankees are up there with 17. And the 1-2. Grounded foul.
Nice job by Rivera just to foul that pitch off. It was a quality slider down and away, a classic strikeout pitch for A.J. Burnett. Rivera just does a nice job of spoiling it, hoping that you get another pitch and maybe you get a mistake.
Kendrick's at second. Angels lead 3-2. We're in the top of the fourth inning at the stadium. And the pitch. Breaking ball. Moving to third is Kendrick. The throw not in time. Ultra aggressive by Kendrick, especially with 2 outs. It almost didn't warrant the risk.
No, I don't think it was a smart base running play, but the good news, he was thinking about going the whole way. When he saw ball in the dirt, he didn't get the greatest jump in the world. Jorge Posada actually did a little flip throw. See, the ball gets away from him, then a little sidearm flip to Pena, a quick tag, and he just gets in there. But you're right, Michael, probably the reward is not worth the risk. The only benefit now, wild pitch. If it gets by Posada, he would be able to score.
2-2. Grounded softly to third. Pena fields. Flips. Got it. And that'll do it in the fourth. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on third base. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning as Ramiro Pena very slickly fields this ball, and a nice quick throw. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. 20 years ago today, Al Leiter was traded from the Yankees to the Blue Jays for which player? Do you want to guess?
I don't want to guess and be 0 for 1 on the year, so I'm going to hold back.
All right. Some would say gutless. Jesse Barfield, the outfielder, as Posada takes a strike.
Jesse Barfield had a cannon from right field.
He might have had a better arm than Al. And Al threw it 98 miles an hour.
He didn't have the cutter that Al had.
No, he didn't. There's a strike. And the Blue Jays actually acquired a player, John, who was shot. His shoulder was shot because he had previous start before being traded. He had thrown 162 pitches in a game at the stadium. And it was against the Twins in the rain on a cold night in April. And Dallas Green said, I've got to get this guy to throw a complete game. And his shoulder was shot. He didn't pitch for the Blue Jays for almost 3 years. Posada takes a called third strike. Does not like the call. And there's one away. And Jesse Barfield had a nice stint here with the Yankees. And there's the arm that John's talking about. Bob Guerin, now the manager of the A's. And boy, not many people showed up at the games then in 1989. A souvenir for somebody as Jesse Barfield traded for Al Leiter in 1989 this date.
Got to meet Jesse Barfield at one of those fantasy camp games that we play in, and what a super gentleman. Does some TV work for the Blue Jays.
Nick Swisher fouls it away. Let's look at young Al Leiter. How different is he? Oh, there he is.
Still the same mannerisms.
He does that in the booth now. Pitch is low. Swisher grounded to second. That was in the second. And the pitch.
Ortega looks like he's got a nice fastball changeup combination. Second changeup in a row to Nick Swisher. And that's a pitch he hit out the other way in Detroit last night.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Todd Tickenor.
3 changeups in a row. You don't see this every day. Usually a changeup is best used after a fastball. It was up in the zone, and Nick Swisher might have a gripe.
It didn't look like he swung at all. Seen a lot worse called checks.
You see 3 changeups in a row. It slows you down a little bit. Might be an opportunity like he did to Jorge Posada. Throw a fastball inside, try to freeze Nick Swisher.
7 home runs for Nick. None of them here at the stadium. Bernie Williams did it 9 home runs before he hit one at the stadium.
Talked about it early, Michael. I mean, Nick Swisher really has made a nice adjustment coming out of spring training. Real solid on that back leg. Looks like he's seeing the ball deep to home plate. Pitch recognition is good.
And there's a hot shot past the diving Kendrick and into right field for a base hit.
Well, one thing Ortega's going to learn at the big league level, if you throw 4 out of 5 changeups to a major league hitter, and it's in a good spot, it's down and away, I mean, he's going to get a decent swing on it. He might not have his A swing, but you see 4 out of 5 changeups, you're going to be able to do something with it. And there's the grip of that old 3-finger split grip. And it's a good pitch, good movement down and away. He's got to do a better job of setting it up with your fastball.
There's Melky Cabrera, extended his hitting streak to 5 straight, single in the second. Count 1-0. First major league start for Ortega. Last start, 5 innings, 5 runs, 4 earned. And he took the loss in a 9-8 loss to Seattle. Seattle's done a nice job. Don Wakamatsu, the new manager there. And they really accentuated outfield defense building that team. And they've gotten off to a start that puts them in first place at the end of April. And that's usually a place that the Angels are accustomed to being in. They've won 4 of the last 5 AL West titles. Foul the other way.
Yeah, the Angels just trying to hit their stride now. Won 3 in a row coming in here to tonight's ball game. I mentioned it before, just trying to get healthy in that rotation. They feel like if they can just keep themselves somewhere around the 500 mark until they get their 3 pitchers back, they would feel like they'll be in good shape.
Longest tenured manager in the American League, 10 years for Mike Scioscia. 2-1. And the Angels know what they have. They signed him through 2015. That's the deal you have, right, John?
Not quite like that, but Mike Scioscia has done a fantastic job. It's nice to see a manager who wants to stay there, enjoys everything about the organization, and obviously been a productive manager.
Runner goes, 3-1. Is grounded to second. Might have stayed out of the double play by running, and there are 2 away as Swisher moves in the scoring position. Told you about Scioscia, 10 years with the Angels. Tony La Russa has been with the Cardinals since '96. He's a free agent at the end of this year. And Bobby Cox since 1990. Here's Ramiro Pena. Foul back. I asked Mike Scioscia, I said, why so many managers that are catchers? He said, I don't know, maybe we're too dumb to do anything else. And then he laughed. He said, I just think that the most important relationship on a field during a game is the relationship between the pitcher and the catcher. And that's probably the most important relationship when it comes to winning games. He said, so I'm sure it helps.
I like Mike Scioscia in that he's let his catchers go out there and perform, and you can see these current managers who are the former catchers.
And Jim Leland, who never played in the big leagues but was a catcher in the minors, also a catcher. Dribbled slowly left side. Figgins, not in time. Pena beat it out. Swisher moves to third.
Just a hustle base hit by Pena. Just slaps the ball, put it in play. Gets out of the box in good shape. Figgins going to his left. Comes up with it. Doesn't have the strongest throwing arm, and Pena beats it easily. You see him out of the box. Gets a good jump. Puts the head down. Takes a peek. Picks up an infield single. Brings up Derek Jeter with a chance to tying run at third base.
Did they tell you not to take that peek?
They always tell you not to take it, but it's too hard not to look and see how the play's developing. I really don't think it slows you down an awful lot.
Here's Derek Jeter. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded to second and to short. Crowd with the Derek Jeter chant. First and third, 2 outs. Yankees down by 1. Bottom of the 4th. The pitch. Slice foul. This year, with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, Jeter 5 for 8. That's 625. He's a lot of off-speed pitches. And in those 8 at bats, 7 ribbies, 2 home runs. I'm sorry, Jim.
Yeah, great numbers with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. A big hole between first and second with Morales holding on Pena. So your classic Derek Jeter approach is going to be that way. An off-speed pitch, he would pull it. A fastball, probably shoot it through that hole.
And he does. A base hit to right field. And the game is tied. The ball gets away from Abreu. Pena rounds third. They're waving him home. He will score. Yankees lead 4-3. John, it looked like he gave him a blueprint. He hit it right where he drew the line.
You see it time and time again. A fastball, middle away, head down. That's the approach for Derek Jeter, especially with 2 outs, a runner in scoring position. Gets an off-speed pitch, he'll pull it, but a fastball, he drives it the other way. Bobby Abreu just clanks it out there. And Pena was going to go to third anyway on that base hit. You see Rob Thompson lets him know right away, I want you to score. You put your head down, you move. Gets in there easily, not even a slide. Derek Jeter all the way to second base, and he likes it.
And another meeting at the mound as I want to calm down Ortega. And Jeter continues to be big with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Now 667. He is 6 for 9 in those situations. And he picks up his 12th ribby of the year. The other one scored on the E9 by Abreu. So Butcher has his say with Ortega. Nobody up in the Angels bullpen at this point. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Yankees up now 4-3. Here's Johnny Damon, a home run his last time up. Jeter's in scoring position. Torrey Hunter playing extremely shallow for Damon, shading toward right center. That one is driven deep to right field. Backing up is Torrey Hunter. He's there, and he makes the play in front of the warning track for the final out of the inning. But the Yankees take the lead. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. Let's go to the 5th. Yankees up by 1, 4-3. Fifth inning, Yankees lead 4-3. Eric Ibar against A.J. Burnett. Ibar shows bunt and takes a pitch high. Hey, the Lexus scoreboard shows us 4-7-0 Yanks, 3-4-1 for the Angels.
Yeah, you jinxed A.J. Burnett early on, right, in Tampa?
I've been told.
Nice job.
Yeah. I've been told. Line drive, base hit to left center field. Damon will cut the ball off, and Ibar's going for 2. Throw is high, and Burnett backs up. He was thinking 2 right out of the box. That's what you think when you think Angels. They press the defense. They make you make mistakes.
Yeah, they put pressure on you, and also I think they have good scouting reports. Obviously, Mike Scioscia and his coaching staff, they know Johnny Damon doesn't have the strongest arm in the league, and they're going to force the issue when the ball is hit to him. Ibar right out of the box. First of all, a nice piece of hitting, just staying on that fastball. Thinking 2 all the way. Good turn. High throw from Johnny Damon. He's in there safely with a leadoff double.
Now, the way the Angels play ball, you know that Sean Piggins is going to hit the ball on the right side here. And there's a strike.
There's a lot of options now for Sean Figgins. I mean, you can drop a bunt in front of Pena at third base if you want to try to bunt for a base hit and advance the runner. You can pull a bunt to first base somewhere in this area here, or like you said, Michael, just swing away and try to pull a ball. Worst case scenario, Ibar goes to third. Best case, an RBI base hit.
Angels 0 for 5 tonight with runners in scoring position. And you see Jorge Posada say to Burnett, calm down a little bit. 71 pitches for Burnett, 43 strikes.
It's just one of those nights. It looks like it's a lot of work for A.J. Burnett and Jorge Posada, getting on the same page and also finding that rhythm. You thought coming out here for the 5th inning, Yankees score a couple of runs, take the lead. You'd like to see this game from your big right-hander start to dominate in the middle innings. Has to work here in the 5th.
And that one is laced into left field. It is a base hit. Ibar is going to round third. He'll score. Damon flips the ball into second, so Figgins doesn't pull the ball, and he ties the game with an RBI single to left.
See him shaking his head, a little smile on his face. I don't think that was by design. Trying to pull a ball, it's a fastball in. Tries to get the bat head out and just gets beat. Flips it the other way. Really gets away with it. See, he tries to go out and try to hook this ball, but stays inside, is late on it. And a nice read by Ibar at second base, falling in front of Johnny Damon, thinking about scoring all the way. You see the swing, his body kind of went out like he was going to try and hook it, but the fastball, the velocity just beat him. He knows he got away with one right there.
And now he's a threat to steal.
They've been running all night. You start thinking Joe Girardi might have to call a pitch out or maybe back-to-back pitch outs to try to stop this aggressive running game.
There he goes. Pitch out. And the throw to second. Got him! Good scoop and tag by Derek Jeter and a quick release by Posada. And Posada points to the dugout for whichever coach called that pitch out and said, good job.
Now you're looking for a little help behind the plate. A nice job by A.J. Burnett. Quick delivery, nice pitch out, good throw, and a nice scoop by Derek Jeter. You felt like this was coming all the way. The Angels are just running all over the Yankees. And Joe Girardi, the manager, you got to make an adjustment.
Now back over the screen by Asturias.
Figgins comes in with 9 stolen bases, a nice pick and a nice tag by Derek Jeter.
And Posada likes the tag by his buddy. And also he likes the dugout.
Give A.J. Burnett a little credit there as well. I mean, a pitch out, obviously, it seems like an easy play. But as a pitcher, you got to keep that nice delivery. You don't want to be too quick where the runner doesn't run. But you don't want to be so deliberate that you don't have a chance on the pitch out. It's a nice job by the pitcher as well.
2-2. See Jeter, he had his foot blocking the bag, and Figgins slid right into the foot. And Jeter's hobbled just a bit. Seems like he's okay. Check swing. Who calls the pitch outs in the dugout, John?
That'll be the manager giving the sign to Tony Pena, the bench coach. I would assume. I don't know if Joe Girardi. I would assume that Joe is calling him. Tony Pena, obviously great experience as a manager and a big league catcher. He has the ability to call pitch outs as well.
3-2. Grounded softly up the middle. Cano. And there were 2 outs.
Take another look. Burnett, nice delivery, perfect. Right at the shoulder level. A nice throw by Jorge Posada.
So 2-away, and here is Bobby Abreu. You know, sometimes it's overstated, but, you know, John, you could win and lose some games just by having a sharp dugout, knowing the right things to do at the right time. I mean, that's a big play right there.
It is a big play, and I also think about scouting reports, you know, having good reads on outfielders, how they throw, who you can be aggressive, who you can challenge. a very prepared dugout, a Yankee dugout with Joe Girardi leading. I mean, you know from up here how prepared he was up in the booth. No different as the major league manager, his coaching staff. They're on top of it.
I mean, the only guy who comes close to his preparation level is O'Neill. The 1-1.
We might be lucky enough to see him the next couple of days, huh?
I'm hearing a rumor he might be here tomorrow.
Can't do a 4-game set. He just does the last 3.
Oh, forced to. Come on, please. I think that's in his deal. Well, maybe he didn't have the pass to get in today. I don't know. Here's the 2-1. 2-2. Boy, Girardi used to be all over Paul when they worked together, because Paul probably sometimes would not bring a pen to the booth. And Joe had these reams of copy and research and stuff like that, and Paul would go, who are we playing? And the 2-2. Strike 3, outside corner, backdoor breaking ball, and Abreu down looking. That inning turned with the pitch out. A big pitch out by the Yankees, a good throw by Posada, good tag by Jeter. Angels tie the score. We're halfway through. Bottom of the 5th, 4-4 game. Teixeira leads off, and he taps one back to the mound. Ortega fields, underhands one away. 1 pitch, 1 out. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World and by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. One down. Here is Hideki Matsui. He is 1 for 2. An RBI single in the first inning, which extended his hitting streak to 10 straight. And the pitch. Outside of 1-0. Now, John mentioned earlier the bullpen for the Angels has struggled. But once you get to the late part of the bullpen for the Angels, that's a shutdown late part of the bullpen. Scott Shields about as good an 8th inning pitcher as you have, and closing now is Brian Fuentes taking over for K-Rod, who signed as a free agent with the Mets.
Arredondo is down there, who they talk about being a guy who's a closer and waiting.
Grounded softly to Kendrick, and they're 2 away. On the Lexus scoreboard, it's 4-4 right now. 4-6-1 for the Angels and 4-7-0 for the Yankees.
You wonder with Ortega, he's coming up on his 80th pitch of the ball game. If he can get through five innings, his first start of the year. You wonder how long Mike Scioscia will go with him. I mean, sometimes you get 5 innings, a 4-4 ball game, pitch count. It'll be a 79th pitch. Sorry about that.
Here's Cano. Angels took early BP today at the stadium, and Mike Sosa was just blown away by the ballpark. He said, this is just one of the most beautiful stadiums I've ever seen. He said, if you're a baseball fan, you have to get out here and see it. He goes, I'll tell you how much I like it at the end of the 4-game set. He said, but before we win or lose a game, he says, I just think that they recreate it with Yankee Stadium's about. You still have that feel when you're on the field. He couldn't stop raving about it.
You know, that's probably the best time of the day, too. When you come in early, you have extra batting practice. It's real quiet. You can kind of walk around and get a feel for the place. And obviously it changes when the crowd files in. You feel the electricity.
And Lou Kakuza Jr. has a great visiting clubhouse, and that visiting clubhouse is better than some home teams' clubhouse. And the television setup there rivals what you have, I heard, you know, the big basement that you have finished.
You haven't seen the basement yet?
I haven't been invited, but I heard it's great. Heard it's great, the Flaherty Mansion. The 3-1. High fly ball down the left field line. And Figgins runs out of room.
Tell you what, there's a big screen down there, but it's not anything like that big screen in center field, the high definition.
That is just unbelievable. I think you take it for granted. I mean, you can't believe how clear it is. It's amazing. 101 by 59. I think the one in your place is 90 by 42, which is still a nice size. They actually put it in and then built the house around it, which is very clever. The 3-2 right back to Ortega. And he has an easy 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th with 3 ground balls. He retired 4 in a row at the Jeter RBI single. 5 in the books. It's a 4-4 game. Restaurant in center field here at the stadium as Torrey Hunter leads off the 6th inning of a 4-4 game. And Burnett deals a fastball strike on the outside corner.
Let's look at the scouting report on Torrey Hunter. Great start, 8 home runs, 16 RBIs, and follow the lead. He was telling me loves hitting behind Bobby Abreu, how many pitches he takes. The total package we talked about, the 8 consecutive Gold Gloves.
Grounded to short, Jeter. And there's one away.
Torrey was telling me how great it is to hit behind a guy like Bobby Abreu who takes all those pitches and it almost rubs off on him. He's notoriously a very aggressive hitter. Swung at the second pitch that he saw there. A nice ground ball to short. He was raving about Bobby Abreu and the difference he's made in that lineup.
There's Bobby. Longer hair this year. Kendry Morales takes pitch out. So you look at A.J. Burnett, and this has been a grinded-out effort. And you were a teammate of a guy who loved these type of games, and that's Roger Clemens. He said that if he could win a game like this, and you see 86 pitches for Burnett, 52 strikes, it was more satisfying than an overwhelming just over aggressive 2-0 victory. He said where he just dominated the hitter. He said, I love to grind out games where I didn't have great stuff.
These are the difference makers, as you see the pitches by inning, a total of 87. They're difference makers. I mean, Mike Mussina, one of our good friends from last year, won 20 games. He said all the time, you go out there 10 games and you had electric stuff. I mean, you were going to dominate, you're going to have a good game. Probably 12 of those you're not going to have great stuff. It's a 12 in between. That's what this start is for A.J. Burnett. And these are the difference makers. If you can find a way to grind it out, keep your ball club in position to win. I think the problem is when we look at A.J., we expect domination. I mean, we expect a guy to go out there start after start and have high strikeout numbers, go deep into the ball game. Eventually he's going to get on a roll like that. It just hasn't happened yet.
And the 3-1. Foul back. Also, this protects a bullpen. Sometimes you have stuff like this, you give it up, and you're out of the game in the 4th inning. But he's persevering here tonight, and he has a team in the game. It's 4-4, top of the 6th. Strike 3 right down the middle. You wonder what Morales was looking for. And they're 2 away.
Morales had a 3-1 fastball he fouled off. That was a pitch he needed to hit because that pitch it ends up down the middle, Michael, but it starts off on the inside corner and has some good run back to the plate. It just froze him a little bit. And AJ has shown him a steady diet of breaking balls, so probably thought that was going to be another slider off the plate, and it came back the other direction, froze him for a strikeout.
Here's Mike Napoli, a home run in the 2nd, and then a grounded to short in the 4th. Breaking ball. That breaking ball has been a weapon for him tonight. 0-1.
You start thinking about AJ and how deep he can go in this ball game. 111 pitches, the most pitches he has thrown this year, and that was his 3rd start of the season. Up in the middle 90s now. Another good slider, did not get the call again from Doug Eddings. Start thinking if he can get this last out in the 6th, can easily go into the 7th.
Line drive, base hit to left center field off the bat of Napoli. Melky fields and fires. And a 2-out single for Napoli, who's 2 for 3.
Napoli's hit a home run the other way. His first at bat gets a fastball outer half and decides to pull this one. Nice simple swing, just loads up on his back leg. Very powerful swing. He wanted to go inside, left it out over the plate, and got away with a mistake.
There's that Yankee killer Howie Kendrick. Walked and scored and singled to right, and that one foul back. Here you see Kendrick, and I gave you the numbers that he has against the Yankees, hitting .475 lifetime, over 80 at bats, which is a significant look. And you wonder, the pitchers are different. It must be the uniform. There must be a comfort level when he faces the Yankees, because they're probably pitching him differently. They've had a different manager. They've had different pitching coaches, and they can't come up with the right recipe. And there are the numbers: .475, a home run, 5 ribbies.
I talked about it before. The guy could hit. I mean, he hit all the way through the minor leagues. He just hasn't hit with a lot of power. 300 last year in limited games, 92 because of hamstring injuries. So it's not just the Yankees, but the Yankees numbers just jump off. There are some teams, Michael, some stadiums, some teams that you just feel very comfortable hitting against or playing in the old Yankee Stadium. He's taken that over here, 1 for 1 with a walk today.
Driven out to right field. Swisher toward the line, toward the stands, and he can't make the play. Not much room down there between foul line and wall. And it was a perfect storm. Ball, wall, and Nick arrived at the same time.
You see Nick, he peeks a little bit. He does not shy away from the wall at all. Tries to time his leap and just does not come up with the play. But you cannot blame Nick Swisher for shying away. He jumps on top of the wall, tries to make the one-handed grab over the wall. And just does not come up with it, but an outstanding effort. Like I said, not shying away from contact.
And the 1-2. Nice block by Posada. And the count 2-2.
Michael, when you get a ball like that where it's a close play and your outfielder doesn't come up with it, and that would have been an outstanding play if he made it. But with a guy like Kendrick, who you said just kills the Yankees, you wonder if you give him another opportunity, if he's going to take advantage. Checks his swing. A nice block by Jorge Posada.
Napoli bluffed and then headed back to first as Kendrick fouls it off.
Napoli had 7 stolen bases last year, so what are they? They runs good for a catcher. 7 bags.
Top of the 6th inning, it's a 4-4 game. Each team with 7 hits. Angels have 1 error. That error allowed the Yankees to score their 4th run, an error by Bobby Abreu in right field. Runner goes. Pitch is high. Throw to second. Got him. Great tag by Robinson Cano. So the Angels have gone to the well 2 times too many. Figgins got thrown out stealing, and now Napoli gets thrown out stealing. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, 4-4. Text poll, who's the best player to suit up for both the Yankees and the Angels? You've been texting to 58772. And this is the way you voted. 64% thought it was Reggie Jackson. 26% thought it was Dave Winfield. Posada hits one deep to center field. Backing up is Hunter. He's there. Now comes in a step and puts it away for the first out of the 6th. Reggie spent 5 years with the Yankees and signed as a free agent with the Angels. And that's his 500th home run that he hit at what was then Angel Stadium. And Reggie on his way to the Hall of Fame. And number 44 retired here with the Yankees. With that fly ball, Posada now 1 for his last 11, 0 for 3 tonight. Here's Swisher. And the pitch high. There's a strike.
Anthony Ortega hanging in there, and we spoke about it with these other pitchers coming back. He might not stay in the major leagues for the rest of the year, but he can say pitched toe-to-toe with A.J. Burnett, at least for 6 innings to this point. 88 pitches. If it wasn't for an error by Bobby Abreu, who might have the lead in this ball game.
Nick Swisher is 1 for 2. Jason Mulger warming for the Angels, and Swisher walks.
Tomorrow night on Yes, the Yanks continue this homestand against the Angels. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock with batting practice today and the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Michael Kay, hopefully Paul O'Neill, and I will have the call from the booth. Angels, Yankees tomorrow starting at 6 o'clock only on Yes.
I think he's going to be here, John. I'm pretty confident. Yeah. Mike Butcher comes out to the mound to talk with Ortega. With Melky Cabrera due up. Who's the best pitching coach to come out there and say actual things that worked, that you worked with in the big leagues?
Wow.
Or are those just wasted times out there?
No, Mel with the Yankees was obviously good. I mean, he was very simple, very calming. I think there's different speeches for different personalities. I know Dave Island last night with Jabba Chamberlain was very forceful early in that ball game and said, you got to attack the strike zone like Jabba Chamberlain has in the past, and it worked. But Butcher, obviously a very well-respected pitching coach, probably had the right message for his young right-hander.
Swisher has some speed. He leads off first, held there by Kendry Morales. And the pitch high.
Melky had a base hit his first at bat. Ground ball his last at bat. I think he went out of the strike zone on a 3-1 count. A guy who's been locked in. Probably feel pretty good about this matchup with the righty getting his pitch count up against the hitter who's locked.
Fouled away. Melky 4 home runs. 8 runs batted in. Laced the other way. Slices foul though into the seats. There's a stiff wind blowing from right to left here in the stadium. The flags atop the stadium, briskly straight out to the left. And people are still trying to decide how to read it. The old Yankee Stadium, if the flag blew one way, the wind was blowing another way, so they're not quite certain if it works the same way here. That could be 2. There's 1. On to first, it's a double play. So Ortega has been impressive. Overseas. Double play. No run. Nobody left on base. A.J. Burnett comes out for the 7th inning, and he deals a breaking ball inside to Kendrick. Remember, Kendrick was up when Mike Napoli got thrown out. We go to the 7th inning. It's a 4-4 game. This is the 3rd start that A.J. has gone into the 7th inning or later. It was a good hard fastball for a strike. He's thrown 103 pitches. There's some movement out in the Yankee bullpen, so they'll start to throw out there the 1-1. And there's a base hit for Kendrick. He is 2 for 2. Hey, Monday night on Yes, the Yankees look to even the score when they kick off a home series against the Red Sox. Coverage starts at 6 with batting practice today, and the Tri-State Ford pregame follows that. Then David Cohn, Ken Singleton, and I have all the action. Red Sox Yankees, it all starts Monday night at 6, and it's right here on Yes. Joe Girardi checking out the matchups upcoming. Let's see if Kendrick is going to go. He's already stolen 2 bases.
Been on base 3 times, 2 base hits, a walk, couple stolen bases, and again stretching that lead out. He's right past that cutout. Got a little lean on his right leg, looking like he's leaning towards second. Nice luxury to have if you're Mike Scioscia. You could be aggressive on the bases. You don't have to worry about sacrifice bunting late in ball games.
Kind of a quasi pitch out. I don't know how much of a pitch out it was in the count 1-0.
You know, sometimes, Mike, if you're a catcher and you don't see the runner going, you kind of give it a half slide out there. If you saw the runner going, you would get out a little bit more aggressively and have your movement going towards second base. See if they go back to back here with the pitch outs.
Fouled away. How reluctant are you to do that? A lot of it depends on the pitcher's control.
It does. I mean, it's a gutsy call to go back to back. You're just figuring at some point during this at bat, Kendrick is going to be taking off again. It's a gutsy call, and AJ is not showing. He's only walked 1 tonight, so the control hasn't been terrible, but been behind in a lot of counts.
Have you ever heard of anybody going back to back to back?
Never.
You know, you could probably do it with Rivera. 105 pitches for Burnett, 63 strikes.
You probably could. You know, and a lot depends on a pitcher who's comfortable doing it. I mean, you got to have a guy who wants to sell it the right way. I talked about it earlier with AJ doing a nice job of keeping that same rhythm where the runner on first doesn't realize you sped up so much that he doesn't run.
Runner goes. Hit and run was on as Rivera fouls it back.
That would have been the best pitch for Jorge Posada to throw on right there. It was a high fastball that Rivera did a nice job of fouling off. Catcher's dream when you get a high fastball at your right shoulder, the easiest pitch to transfer.
The 1-2. Grounded to Pena. Let's see if they turn to his bobble. There's one on the first. It's a double play. A great pivot there by Robinson Cano. And despite the bobble by Pena, an around the horn 5-4-3.
Juan Rivera broke his leg a few years ago, so he doesn't run quite as well as he used to. Pena, a little bobble. Most important thing, get the out at second. A nice transfer by Robinson Cano. Gets Rivera by plenty. Little bobble, just make sure you get one. Let Robinson Cano take care of the other one. A nice quick transfer, the strong arm.
Here's Eric Ibar. Popped up. Left side, Pena retreats. Jeter calls him off and makes the play, and that'll do it here in the top of the 7th. So A.J. Burnett gives the Yankees 7 innings, and he leaves with a 4-4 tie. No runs, a hit, no errors, and no. Power than Bob, right?
You're a powerful man.
Well, it was 6 innings for me. Let's see what he does after 6. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-4 game. So Garza pitching a perfect game against the Red Sox. Anthony Ortega's pitching a pretty good game against the Yankees. 4-4. Pena leads off. Thought about a bunt, took a pitch high, 1-0. Both bullpens are busy right now.
I'm a little surprised that Ortega went out here for the 7th inning. As you can see, Scott Shields warming up in the Angel bullpen. Sometimes you see a young pitcher doing a nice job through 6 innings. The pitch count will be 97th pitch of the ball game coming up. See a lot of managers take a youngster out feeling good about himself, having a quality performance. Not Mike Scioscia. Lets him go out there for the 7th.
Laced into center field. And Torrey Hunter puts it away for the first out. And still the voice of Bob Shepard introduces Derek Jeter, and that's the way it's going to be for the rest of Jeter's Yankee career. He said that that's the only guy that will ever introduce me, so they play a tape of Bob. Bob's still recuperating at home. Paul Olden doing the PA duties while Bob is out. Pitch to Jeter is a strike.
Paul Oldham was a radio announcer in Tampa when I was with the Devil Rays back then. First radio announcers that the Devil Rays had, now doing a nice job here at the stadium.
Actually was a Yankee announcer at one point for a couple of years. That one is laced into left center field. It is a base hit. Cutting over is Torrey Hunter. Jeter makes a big turn. He'll stop right there. So it's a one-out single for the captain. And that'll bring up Johnny Damon. Time to take a look right now at the Land Rover drive of the game. What is it, John?
Goes in the bottom of the third. Johnny Damon, his 4th home run of the year, deep to right field. No doubt about this one. Up in the second deck, that was your Land Rover drive of the game.
And that'll do it as Mike Scioscia. Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. WB Mason, who but? Well, as you enjoy your coffee, it's time for the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered. And that call to the bullpen delivers Scott Shields to the mound to face Johnny Damon. Jeter's at first, and the pitch. Inside. Very unshielding numbers right there.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing those, but he has not given up a run in his last 3 outings. See the 9 walks. Got kind of a wild delivery. Sometimes those mechanics can get out of whack, but never a question about the arm. Good fastball, a tight slider. Ability to pitch back-to-back games.
Damon against Shields, 5 for 19. That's 263, but 2 of the 5 home runs. Johnny hitting 299 so far this year. He had a solo home run in the 3rd inning. Those are Ortega's numbers. The run at first is his responsibility. Rip foul.
Johnny Damon 5 for 19 against Shields coming into this at bat, and it's just foul. Did a nice job of turning on that fastball in the inner half. Two home runs. I got to believe those home runs probably on a breaking ball down and in from Shields, where he just dropped the bat head. Tried to throw a fastball up and in, and Johnny Damon turned it around.
Grounded foul. Runner goes. And the pitch fouled off in front of the plate.
Well, Derek Jeter has 4 stolen bases on the year, has not been thrown out. Joe Girardi took a chance on a 2-2 count.
Usually the Angels bullpen is a strong part of their arsenal. Last in ERA, 4th in saves, 11th in innings pitched, 8th in strikeouts, and last in batting average against. So when you go to the bullpen, if you're Mike Scioscia, so far this year, you're holding your breath. And the count now full at 3-2, so they send Jeter on 3-2. They didn't send him on that pitch, but they sent him on the previous pitch.
You got to trust Johnny Damon in this situation. If you're Joe Girardi, you want to send Derek Jeter. The ability to lay off a pitch out of the strike zone. If it is in the zone, put in play hard.
Jeter goes, and the pitch is high, so another walk by Scott Shields. Hey, after the final out, don't miss the WB Nation postgame. Bob Lorenz is back in the studio to recap this series opener against the Angels and then look around the rest of the major leagues. Plus, Kimberly Jones talks to the team in the clubhouse. It's the WB Nation postgame, and it's after the final out. That's what a postgame is, only on Yes. Here's Mark Teixeira. 1 for 2, a double, a walk, and a run scored. And a strike.
It's almost like you're waiting for that one at bat from Mark Teixeira, you know, to get that big hit. The Yankees been pretty good with runners in scoring position, 3 for 6. Waiting for him to get that big hit and kind of set him on his way to pick up the pace the rest of the year.
And that's not that big hit right there. There's one on the first. It's a double play. So Teixeira, here's the Boo Birds here in the Bronx as he bangs into an inning-ending, rally-killing 4-6-3 double play. 4-6-3. End of the inning as we go to the 8th. It's 4-4, and Scott Shields likes what he sees. Yankee season on Yes. We're allowing you to vote along with the 3 of us here, or the 2 of us today here in the booth for the Chevrolet Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Johnny Damon; number 2, Derek Jeter; number 3, Mike Napoli; and number 4, Sean Figgins. Please vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. You know, without that 3rd guy in the booth, John, I did say correctly, Ryan Ruocco does get a vote without O'Neill here. He's got a text, though. He can't confer with the 2 of us. Phil Koch comes on for the Yankees, and he deals low to Sean Figgins. Koch's last 6 games, 5 innings, 1 hit, No runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts.
Phil Koch coming in, making Figgins hit right-handed. 111 this year right-handed.
Those are Koch's numbers. A couple of bad outings have that ERA somewhat bloated. 7 hits and 8 2/3. A.J. Burnett will not get a decision tonight. Neither will Anthony Ortega. Foul back to the screen. Sean Figgins opened the game with a triple and then scored on a ground out, struck out in the second, and an RBI single to left in the 5th.
We talked about A.J. Burnett. I mean, he had to work tonight. 8 hits, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Gave up the 4 runs in 7 innings. Now it's going to be a battle of the bullpens. Main job for Phil Koch, keep this guy off base to lead off this inning.
Throwing strikes and Figgins spoiling them. On the Angels uniforms, you see the patch with number 34 to honor the fallen Nick Adenhart, and his jersey is up in the dugout. They have a locker for him in the visiting clubhouse as well. Right back to Koch. 1 away.
Nice job by Phil Koch. That makes life so much easier for the New York Yankees, keeping Figgins off the bases. 9 stolen bases on the year, can manufacture a run by himself. Big out for Phil Koch.
There's Meiser Isturiz. There's a strike. A little odd to watch the Angels not see Garrett Anderson, but they let him go as a free agent. Swing and a miss.
Vladimir Guerrero on the disabled list with a pectoral muscle problem. Yankees do not miss seeing him in the middle of that lineup.
He's going to be out for a while. The 0-2 popped up and out of play. Jonathan Albaladeo warming for the Yanks. And Justin Spire for the Angels. And the 0-2. Did it get him? He's trying to sell it, but Doug Eddings is not buying it.
Doug Eddings all over this. We'll take a look. Bounced obviously way out in front. Thought maybe got him on the bounce. Didn't look like it. Did not get the call.
And the 1-2. Just got a piece to stay alive.
Phil Koch's stuff has definitely gotten better since the beginning of the season. Looks like the velocity's a little bit better, but the break on that slider, kind of saw a rolling slider at the beginning of the year. He's got it figured out now. That's a nice tight slider we saw in September of last year. Pitching coach Dave Island looking on has to like that.
And the 1-2. Good hard fastball, but just missed. 2-2. Koch 93 on the gun, and with his slider that John talks of, that's an effective combination. And the 2-2 popped up right side, giving chase Cano and Teixeira, and Teixeira makes the play. Let's go to our studios and Bob Lorenz, and let's see if he is in fact Johnny Jinx. Thanks so much, Bob, affecting history the way you did.
Way to go, Bob.
So Joe Girardi out to the mound, and he's going to stay with Phil Koch.
Bobby Abreu, I really don't even understand the conversation out there, left on left. Yeah. But obviously, that might have been a conversation about this is how we want to pitch him. Obviously, we've seen Bobby Abreu the last few years, and he does a nice job against left-handed hitters. Or left-handed pitchers, I'm sorry, hitting .273 this year so far.
Yankees maneuvering the defense. And the pitch to Abreu. There's a strike.
You know what, Michael, could be a reminder. Let's pitch him away and play him away. Force him to the big part of the ballpark. Yankee Stadium here, the short porch in right field. Easy just to hook a home run. Pitch him away, play him away.
Weak hack there by Abreu on the breaking ball. Also just saw a shot of the upper deck. I don't know if that's quite mist, rain, gloaming, fog. I'm going with gloaming and fog.
Gloaming?
Yes.
Fordham word?
Yes. The 0-2. 1-2.
Where Bobby Abreu gets tough when he gets behind in the count 0-2. He kind of slows the game down. Tries to let the ball get deep and recognize. He took his shot on the 0-1 pitch trying to go deep. He missed. Now he'll get back into that hitter's mode going the other way.
It's gone from gloaming the rain, John. It's raining right now. The 1-2. He goes. Couldn't hold up. And boy, is full coat pumped. He is pumped up as he retires the Angels in order 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning at Yankee Stadium. Coke goes with that hard slider. Abreu cannot hold up. Strikes out swing. A cap. Well, celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium this Sunday, May 3rd, with a long-time Yankee Stadium tradition, Cap Day. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yankees cap courtesy of our good friends at Zales. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Got a couple of caps. They also have a tight ball game, bottom of the 8th inning. It's 4-4. 4-8-1 Angels, 4-8-0 Yankees. And Justin Spire takes over for Scott Shields. And he will face Matsui, Cano, and Posada. The only lefty in the bullpen for the Angels is their closer. That's why they don't bring him in. See the numbers on Spire. And there's the strike.
Spire started off slow, but 5 of his last 6 outings are scoreless, so he's on a pretty good run.
28 games in his career against the Yankees, a 4.94 ERA. Big healthy cut by Matsui. Matsui 1 for 3, an RBI single in the first inning extended his hitting streak to 10 straight. It'll be Matsui, Cano, and Posada bottom of the 8th as the Yankees try to snap a 4-4 tie. Rain falling at the stadium. Foul that back.
Spire's got the good fastball, a nice split finger.
Matsui 3 hits and 9 at bats against Spire. Tapped out to left field. Rivera toward the line. 1 out. And Mariano beginning to throw. Tie game, you're bringing your closer in the 9th inning. Cano has his 16-game hitting streak on the line right here. He's 0 for 3. Struck out, fouled out to the catcher, tapped back to the mound. Line drive. It's a 17-game hitting streak. Trapped there out there by Abreu. So a 1-out single for Cano.
Well, Robinson didn't waste any time. First pitch swinging a fastball. Pretty much right down the middle. Smokes this ball to right field. Bobby Abreu gets caught on his heels and short hops it. I believe if he kept coming, he would have been able to make that play.
We saw that a lot with Bobby Abreu over the last 2 years. Somewhat reluctant to come in and didn't like to really go hard up against the wall either. Formerly a Gold Glove winner, though, with the Phillies out in right field. Here's Posada. Breaking ball strike. Posada, great numbers against Spire lifetime. 5 for 10, but get this, 3 of the 5 against Spire home runs. Driven out to right center field, giving chases Abreu. He's not going to get there, and it bounces over the wall. A tough break for the Yankees. If it doesn't go up over the wall, Cano probably scores the go-ahead run.
Jorge Posada had a tough first half of this ball game. A couple of runners stealing some bases. Was 0 for 3, but comes up with a big double here. And like you said, Michael, he smokes this ball to right center. If it stays in the ballpark on the hop, Robinson Cano is going to score easily. It's off the warning track and bounces over. Bad break for the Yankees. Robinson has his head down. He's thinking scoring all the way, and he would have easily.
And Posada gives the, he knew it. Lost an RBI, and the Yankees would have had the lead. Robbie Thompson talking things over with Posada and Cano right now. Posada will return to second. There's a meeting on the mound with the Angels. Mike Butcher comes out to talk with Justin Spire. You have first base open. You have Nick Swisher at the plate. On deck would be Melky Cabrera. I guess you could pick your poison there. Do you walk Swisher to try to set up the double play? Melky last time up wrapped into a double play. Swisher 1 for 10 with 4 strikeouts lifetime against Spire. So with those numbers at their disposal, the Angels probably pitch to Swisher. No, looks like they'll intentionally walk him because those numbers were compiled when he wasn't red hot, John.
And Melky's red hot too. So like you said, you pick your poison here if you're Mike Scioscia. The one thing about Spire, he's not a guy you can say, hey, pitch around this guy. You know, pitch carefully. He's a thrower. He's not much of a pitcher. He just rears back and lets it fire with a good fastball and a good split. So Mike Scioscia does not want to take any chances on him making a mistake, so he loads the bases.
Well, Melky Cabrera, as we mentioned, red hot. 1 for 3, 5-game hitting streak. Single to left center, stole a base, grounded to second, and then wrapped into a 4-6-3 double play. Robinson Cano is at third. Posada is at second. And Nick Swisher over at first, talking to Nick Kelleher.
Well, Melky Cabrera, don't try to do too much. Realize Spire's in trouble.
Line drive, base hit to right field. Cano scores. Posada will stop at third. Throw comes all the way in. It's a big RBI single for Melky Cabrera, and the Yankees lead 5-4. So the strategy for the Angels backfires.
What I like about this at bat, though, Michael, Melky Cabrera has a very simple, short swing. Not trying to do too much, just put the ball in play, got a good pitch to hit, and you can see he does not overswing at all. It's just very simple. I'll take my base hit to right field, put the Yankees ahead, and they're still in business with the bases loaded. Shows some maturity right there from Melky Cabrera. Not trying to do too much and overswing, roll over and hit a ground ball. Just a nice, simple approach.
Now the Yankees would like some more, give their bullpen a little breathing room in the ninth. Here's Ramiro Pena. Bases remain loaded. Pitch outside. Angels think something could be up there in at the corners for Pena, with Diggins and Morales on the grass. Posada at third, Swisher at second, Cabrera at first. Yankees up 5-4, bottom of the eighth inning. Line drive down the right field line. It's a base hit. It'll go to the wall. Posada scores. Swisher scores. They hold Cabrera at third. It's a two-run double for Ramiro Pena. And the Yankees now lead by 3. And for Pena, his first career RBIs in a big moment here in the bottom of the eighth inning.
Well, good for Ramiro Pena. You get your first career RBIs, and they come in a big spot, not in a blowout win. When you get some at-bats, it's a little slider down and in, and drills it to right field. Puts his head down, running hard right out of the box. And getting some opportunities to play third base. It's a couple of hits tonight, a big double with a couple RBIs for Pena. Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, loves it.
And so does Pena. Mike Scioscia has to go to that bullpen again. Justin Spire doesn't do it. The Yankees are up by 3, looking for more. With one out, a single by Cano, a double by Posada, an intentional walk to Swisher, Cabrera an RBI single, and then Ramiro Pena a two-run double. After the final out, don't miss the WB Nation postgame. Bob Lorenz is back in the studio to recap the series opener against the Angels and look around the rest of baseball. Plus, Kimberly Jones talks to the team in the clubhouse. It's the WB Nation postgame after the final out only on Yes. Jason Bulger will pitch to Derek Jeter. The Angels have the infield in. Another bloated ERA for the Angels out of the bullpen. 11 hits in 7 innings. Second and third, 1 out. Bulger deals. Upstairs. 1-0.
Derek had a good night. Couple of base hits. RBI. A great opportunity to hit here. 1-0. Infield drawn in. Second and third.
And now Napoli wants to talk things over with Bulger. Crowd of 43,388 here at the stadium. And of the 7 games played at the stadium, this is one of the louder crowds. Seem to be into it quite a bit with a late Yankee rally to take a 7-4 lead. Yankees 5 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight. Rain continues to fall, a heavy mist here at the stadium. And the pitch upstairs. 2-0. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Bulger. Way outside. First base is open. Damon is on deck. Count 3-0. Dustin Sparrow can only watch. Runners on base, his responsibility. The 3-0. Upstairs as Jeter leans back. A walk by the Yankee captain, who's now 2 for 4 with that walk, and the bases are reloaded.
3-0, wondering if Derek Jeter had the green light. Obviously up and in, not a pitch to swing at, but you can see why this Angel bullpen has struggled. Got guys out there, it just looks like they're doing a lot of throwing instead of pitching. Not worrying about location, just trying to throw hard. It's not working out.
Melky is at third. Pena at second. Jeter is at first. Johnny Damon at the plate. Yankees up 7-4. Bottom of the 8th inning. And Bulger steps off. Look at the numbers with the bases loaded for Damon. Close to a 400 average. It's a lot of at-bats to 6 grand slams. How do you explain that, John? He's a good player, but how do you explain that kind of dominance?
Well, the first thing that popped into my mind, he probably relaxes in these situations. You see a lot of young hitters, and myself as well when I was a veteran player. You get excited with the bases loaded. You want to come up with that big hit. You want to come up with that grand slam. The good hitters with bases loaded realize the pitcher is in trouble. They slow the game down. They don't try to do too much, and the numbers represent it.
Well, Mike Butcher trying to slow down Jason Bulger here. And a quick conference on the mound, so the count.
The game is going fast for this Angel reliever. 5 straight balls, 4 fastballs to Derek Jeter. That looked like a split finger to Johnny Damon. But have the ability to step off, slow the game down, and make your pitch.
And the 1-0. Popped up and out of play.
A lot of room for Johnny Damon in left center field. Torrey Hunter shading Johnny to right center. Good situational hitting here. You stay up the middle the other way. Try to shoot that left center field gap.
1-1. Popped up. That will not get a run in. Ibar with the second out. Time for the play of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance.
Ramiro Pena. It's a big double to drive in a few runs. Yankees hoping that this blows open this ball game. His first career RBIs, your Geico play of the game.
And Ramiro remains on second. And the Yankees have batted around. Here's Teixeira with the bases loaded. The ninth batter to come to the plate. And the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Last time up in the seventh inning, first and second one out, Teixeira banged into a double play and really heard his loudest Bronx cheers here at the ballpark as he was booed. Pitch up and away, 1-1. Mark has not had a great April, which is his want. 203 in the month, and he's about a 250 lifetime hitter in April, 290 overall. Grounded foul, so I'm sure that he's going to enjoy seeing this month go the way of the calendar flipping over. Tomorrow is May 1st. And the 1-2. Just missed outside, 2-2. Also really good numbers with the bases loaded. 364 with 4 grand slams. And the count full at 3-2. No place to put Teixeira. Matsui's on deck. Runners are going to be going. Full count, 2 outs.
Bolger has not shown the ability to throw his split for a strike, so if you're Mark Teixeira, you're probably sitting all over that fastball.
The 3-2. Strike 3. He is down looking. So Teixeira leaves 3 runners on base, but the Yankees take the lead. They score 3 runs on 4 hits, and they leave the bases loaded as Teixeira goes down looking. Last licks coming up for L.A. You, the fans, and the 2 of us here in the booth. Who is it, John?
Well, I know I voted for Melky Cabrera. The bottom of the 8th inning. It's a big hit for the Yankees. Robinson Cano scores. Melky Cabrera continues his red-hot hitting.
And now they turn it over to Mariano Rivera. Rivera has had some shaky moments of late. He gave up the 2-run home run to Jason Bay on Friday. Yesterday, a 3-run home run in the 9th inning to make it close against Curtis Granderson. A 3.12 ERA, 11 hits in 8 2/3. A safe situation with a 3-run lead entering the 9th inning. He'll face Hunter Morales and Napoli. Torrey 0 for 3. Shows bunt, takes pitch high, 1-0. A heavy mist hangs over the stadium. Yankees lead 7-4. First game of this 4-game set. There's a strike.
90-mile-an-hour cutter showed up at the gun here at the stadium, and Torrey Hunter 2 for 7 against Mariano in his career.
Lined into center field. Brett Gardner in for defense. Has the plate on a hop. Almost went past him. Gardner came in to play center. Melky moves over to left. So leadoff single for Torrey Hunter.
You see the location. It's middle of the plate. It's up. Doesn't have a lot of cut on it. I'd say the velocity down maybe a hair, 90 miles an hour there. We're used to seeing Mariano at 92, 93. But really, when he struggles, it's really missing the location more than the lack of velocity. There's a pitch up in the zone.
Runner goes. The Yankees weren't holding him on, and they let Hunter take second. A strike. And the 0-1. Right in on the fist, and the count 0-2. Morales today 0 for 3. Grounded back to the mound, struck out swinging in the fourth, and the backward K you see there, that's looking in the sixth. The 0-2. Strike 3. Morales down looking.
First at bat for Morales against Mariano Rivera in his career, and he gets frozen on the outside corner. Set up by a cutter on the inside half the pitch before. You can see him leaking a little bit with that front side.
Here's Mike Napoli, runner at second base, now 1 out. 1-0.
We've seen from Napoli tonight, hit the home run on a fastball out over the plate from A.J. Burnett. Had a base hit on a fastball out over the plate. First pitch from Mariano, a little sinker inside just to keep him honest on the inner half. At least make him think about it.
And the count 2-0.
Like that from Jorge Posada. A little motion to Mariano Rivera to come through me. It looks like Mariano pulling that front shoulder off a little bit. Jorge reminding him come all the way through.
And there's a strike.
Mariano, like any pitcher, when he gets in trouble, that front shoulder, his left shoulder will just leak a little bit, will pull off. Causes him to miss location more than anything else.
Now, he shook him off twice. I mean, Mariano throws a cutter pretty much. Is that more location?
It's location.
Shakeoffs?
It's location. I mean, basically, you're going to call sinker, cutter, and then if Mariano wants it in or out.
2-1. 2-2.
Good pitch, good movement. Check out where this pitch starts out. Outer half and has some good cutting action on the outside. That's what we're used to seeing from Mariano.
just missed outside.
Just missed, but it's a perfect pitch. On the outside corner, cuts off. He doesn't get the call, but that's where we were used to seeing Mariano Rivera execute. Right on the corners and just off.
Three-two. Swing and a miss. 2-0.
Threw a first pitch sinker just to get Napoli thinking about the inner half, and then just went away, and throws a cutter right by him. Like the action, like the life through the zone.
Here's Howie Kendrick. Can Mariano solve the riddle of Kendrick? 2 for 2. A walk. 2 stolen bases. A run scored. Runner at second. 2 outs. 9th inning. Angels down to their final out. Yankees up 7-4. 7 runs on 12 hits. The Angels 4 runs on 9 hits with 1 error. And the pitch. Strike inside corner. And the 0-1. This should do it. Right back to Rivera. The out is made. Ball game is over, and the Yankees win this one 7-4. So Rivera picks up the save. The Yankees pick up the win, and they beat the Angels 7-4. Phil Coke will get the win for the Yankees. Melky Cabrera, a big night for New York as he has assumed that center field role. A home run for Johnny Damon, and the Yankees playing a little bit better baseball now as the Angels drop to 9-12 and the Yankees go 2 games over 500. They are 12-10. They've won 3 in a row. It's the Yankees' 3rd 3-game winning streak of the season. So they've been playing in fits and starts in the early going of the season. The end of April, Yankees finish over 500, and the Angels finish under 500 for the first time in 15 months. And that was the longest streak in Major League Baseball, where they had been a team that had had over 500 months. So rare for them to finish up a month at 9-12 under 500. So the Yankees get the victory, as we mentioned, and one of the big reasons they get the victory is another